Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about something that every single creative person goes through. You have got an idea that is stuck in your head, and it's just not coming to the world, right? You're going a little bit crazy with it. That is what we're going to tackle today. And the thing is this. You've got all these ideas, and people talk about them all the time, especially creatives, right? And how long have you had that idea in your head? Maybe a month, a year, maybe several years, right? 5 years, who knows? But the issue is this. It's not the problem about having ideas. Everybody have ideas, all right? Having an idea isn't the rare thing. Executing the idea is the rare thing. That's the thing that is worth millions of dollars once you get that stuff executed. Here's what we're going to do specifically today on the show. We, at the end of the show, are going to have a very clear-cut action that we can take in order to start getting that work done. Get that idea out of your head and start getting it into the world. Hey, but before we do all of that, welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Gregg. This is the Working Creatives Show. I am a creative director, producer. I have performed and presented for over 2.5 million people with live audiences in my career, and I help you get your creative work done. If you're first time here, thanks for joining us. Let me tell you how you can support the show and learn more about the work that we do here. I do help people get their creative work done, and the best way that I do that is over at the Working Creatives community, which is over on the School platform. I have the link down below in the description for this show. This is a community where creatives, creative professionals who are on the path to getting their stuff done, you show up, you get your creative work done. We help you find your audience, then get it to market so we can get income and revenue coming in for your creative work. Head over to the Working Creatives community and join the hundreds of other people that are on the path to getting their work done out in the world and start creating income and revenue for it. That's the best way that you can help. So here we are talking today about getting this stuff done. I think the real thing that happens, the real reason why people don't get their stuff done, they get stuck in analysis paralysis. Right? They just start getting into this loop of thinking and planning and researching, and they just want to wait until the conditions are just right. And that's just not going to help you. All right. What does that look like? I've talked about this in recent streams. It's like you've got like 47 tabs are open everywhere. You've got research that just never ends. Well, I'll do it, but first I got to do a little bit more research, right? It's just like you feel like you're just waiting until you feel ready to do this. One of those things is like also just you keep rewriting the outline instead of actually writing. There's a really powerful quote from Steven Pressfield from The War of Art that I definitely want to share with you guys, and it is this right here. This is from The War of Art. Resistance knows that the amateur composer will never write a symphony because he is overly invested in its success and over terrified of its failure. Let me say that last part again. He is overly invested in its success and over terrified of its failure. You're just caught. You're stuck in this thing of like going, what happens if I do this? What happens if it goes well, right? It's like you're already trying to figure out what the outcome is, and you're stuck in this trap. Well, here's the hard truth with this that I want to express to you on the episode today. More planning is not going to break you out of this loop, right? It's not about more planning, more research. And I've seen this happen with a number of people that I've worked with before, right? Hey, we got to be moving forward on this project. That's right. I just need to gather some more information. I just need to plan out some more stuff to make sure that when I execute this, it's right. That's not the plan. That's not what's going to help you at all, all right? The only thing that's going to help you is action. And this is literally slow, unglamorous, show up action. And it's going to be messy, and it's going to be gross, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's what it is, all right? And there's another trap that's happening underneath this, and I want to express this as well. It's not only showing up and doing this action, but there's also this other thing that's happening in the back of your head, that there is this want and this desire that we have, that you want to have the results instantly, right? Well, I want to do it, but I just wish that this stuff could happen right away. All right. They want to sit down. People want to sit down. They want to work for an hour. And then they want to feel like they've made a real dent. That's it. That's cool. I'll just show up and then I'll just focus this 1, 2, 3 hours on this. And then boom, it'll be there. What I'm looking for is there. It's not going to happen that way. It's just not how it works. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it's absolutely will not happen if you don't start showing up and taking action. You can think and plan and imagine all you want about it, but it's not going to happen until you physically show up and do this. I talked about this in a recent stream where dreaming isn't doing, okay? And the problem isn't dreaming. Dreaming's good, all right? The problem is that dreaming and that ideation becomes a substitute of actually doing the work and actually doing something that's good for you, okay? And you can spend an enormous amount of creative energy just thinking about your project, and then you turn it in your mind, and then you're imagining what it'll look like when it feels done. And actually, you can start getting some of those things that start hitting you, start kind of going, oh, wow, this feels just as good as if I created it. Here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's just stuck in your mind. It's stuck in your head there. And that's not the purpose of your work. And I truly do believe this. You have been given this idea and this creative this creative project for a reason, right? I think that God's put that in your heart and your mind for a reason, because he needs it out in the world. He needs you putting it out there so that other people can experience that. In the end, and I always talk about this from Casey Neistat, your creative project, your creative work comes down to this, borrowed directly from Casey Neistat. It needs to be 49% creativity, 51% business, all right? And the 51% of the business actually is when you're doing the work, when you're showing up, when it's not fun, when you don't feel inspired, when the timer is running and nothing feels good. That's the work. That's the 51% business. That's the part that we have to get you out. Everybody wants to just focus on that. Well, I just want to make sure that I'm having fun and that feels good and all that stuff. Absolutely, that can happen. But the 51% business, the 51% part, that is the business, that is the showing up. That's where the work part comes. That's the part when you don't want to show up and do it. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is just like, honestly, the best analogy that I can give you right now, it's like going to the gym. I'm in a part right now where I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting more healthy, take off a few pounds, put on some muscle, make sure that I do this. I don't always want to do that. I don't always want to do my long walks with the dogs. I don't want to show up at the gym and lift weights, and I don't want to go on runs either, right? But part of this is about one of the things that my wife and I, Kate, have started building in is just like, all right, we're going to show up at the gym at least 3 times a week, and we're showing up for at least 30 minutes. That's all, right? And so it's the idea of getting in the car, going down there, and then just showing up, right? And the minute that you show up, like you're around all this equipment, what are you going to do? Just stand there and do nothing? Well, you can at least go over and try to do something, even if it's low weight or whatever it is. You're in the place and you're there. And it would just be ridiculous if you just showed up there, and if all I did was show up at my local YMCA and then I just sat down on a couch for 30 minutes. Come on. What am I wasting my time for? I'm going over there and being very directional about it. All right. I think that that's sort of the same attitude that you need to take with your creative work. There's a really simple way to do this, which I'll get to it. But the thing is this that I want to tell you, the breakthrough for your creative work, it doesn't come before you start. All right. The breakthrough doesn't come before you start. It comes because you start. That's the only way that the breakthrough is coming. If you're waiting for some sort of an inspiration or for something to strike, it's just not going to happen. You have to show up and to start to do the work, and then the breakthrough will start to happen. All right. You have to do these sloppy forward motion beats. That's what this is. And that will, when you start doing that, that is going to conquer, perfect paralysis every single time. It just is. You just have to be sloppily doing it. At least as long as you're in the same general forward direction, you're going to be okay. And the fruits of your labor are going to start to show, because it's only going to happen when you show up consistently. And that's not a pep talk, right? It's a pattern that every person that I have worked with who has finished stuff, they know this to be true. You have to show up. Now, what's the easiest, simplest way to do this I talk about in my community all the time? 6-minute timer. Putting on a timer for 6 minutes. It's not about chunking out an hour. It's not about chunking out 3 hours or a half a day or whatever that stuff. It is sitting down for 6 minutes and putting that stuff on. And why 6 minutes? Because it's a small little chunk. And you can go, all right, at least I can focus on this. It's going to be 6 minutes where I'm not spending any time doing research, or I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm actually working on the project. I'm doing the writing, or I'm doing the drawing, or whatever that is. And the reason that we do it for 6 minutes is because 6 minutes will go by rather fast, right? You put on that timer, all of a sudden that alarm goes off and you go, oh gosh, I did that for 6 minutes. That was easy. Because it's so small, there's going to be an instinct to go, I could do that for another 6 minutes, right? And the whole idea with this isn't about like elongating it into like, great, now you take those 6 minutes and you turn it into an hour, or you turn it into 3 hours. That's not it. The way that I talk about this is just putting on that 6 minute, let the alarm go off, and then maybe do that 3 more times so that you get maybe 18 minutes a day. Right? 18 minutes a day of focused work on the specific project that you're doing. And the reason I do that is you want to start building a small habit. So when you build that in, so it starts becoming non-negotiable, and it's actually something that it's like brushing your teeth, right? At night. It's just like, yeah, this is something I do. And that's exactly what you need to be doing with your creative work, showing up. And then when you show up, you keep doing it every single day. I've talked about this a bunch of times here on the channel, but there's power in these small actions, just using the simple 6-minute timer, okay? You just start getting through it. And then next thing you know, listen, you do 18 minutes a day over 5 days. Come on, man. It's crazy. You've done over an hour and a half. If you've done that, if you've done 18 minutes a day for 5 days, you've done over an hour and a half of specific work. You do that over a month, you've now put 6 hours in on your project, 6 hours of concentrated focus on it, right? Now you keep doing that over months. Now you start building something real. And the fact is this, it's not about just keeping it 18 minutes, because once you start doing it, start getting in your groove, and you start seeing your project come to life, you are going to naturally start expanding the amount of time that you do it. All right. Here's the thing. The idea isn't the problem. All right. The waiting on it, or trying to do the research, or trying to say, am I getting this perfect? Am I getting this right? That's the problem. All right. And the only cure for that waiting is to start. And you start with something that's small enough that you can't even say no to. And that really happens with those 6-minute timers. And here, that's my call to action for you today. Set a 6-minute timer, all right? Maybe even, listen, today, not at whatever. You don't have to do it immediately. You don't have to do it right now while I'm on this stream with you, but do it today before you get to bed tonight. Whenever you've watched this, before you get to bed tonight, put on a 6-minute timer and work on your project. And then just show up and do it again tomorrow. All of this stuff that I'm talking about, I'll tell you where you can also find it if you want some more encouragement to help you with this, right? And to give you the encouragement of why you do it and how this can build up to a bigger plan for you. In the community, I actually have the 18-minute miracle that I created. This is actually a free this is a free course that I built, the 18-minute miracle, get your creative work done. It's inside the Working Creatives community. Once you're in there and you've engaged enough, you get up to level 2, which happens so fast. You get in there and you can unpack it Again, this is exactly why I designed it. Struggling to find time for your creative projects amidst the chaos of your daily life? Do you feel overwhelmed and exhausted from juggling a 9 to 5 job with family responsibilities and creative aspirations? The 18-minute miracle, a busy person's tool to getting your creative project done, is designed specifically for you. We promise to share a unique and effective method that will help you make the most of your precious time and finally complete your creative projects. You can only find that over in the Working Creatives community, which is free to join. And once you start engaging over there, pretty awesome. I should not be doing that at all. I'm still trying to get to all this stuff, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oh, this is the crazy stuff that happens when you do stuff live. Anyway, yeah. Head on over to Working Creatives. You'll see the link down below. And just start doing it, guys. 6 minutes a day. That's literally all it takes. Awesome. That's all I got for this stream. I just really want to encourage you. You've been given your creative work and your idea for a reason, and you got to get it out in the world. And I know that it can feel like, let me just get it perfect. Let me just get it right. That's not going to be the key for you. Right? The key is about you showing up even at small little segments and just working on it and just getting the stuff done. 6 minutes at a time. Okay? Thank you guys for joining us here today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Glad that you joined us. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can find out when I go live with the show. And I'm really, really glad to have you guys here. Keep coming back. I will keep helping you get your creative work done, and we'll help you find your audience for it and get it out there in the world so you can start having some income coming in for what you do. All right, guys. Onwards, upwards. God bless. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.